Hello and welcome to this FPL Double Game Week 28 AI team reveal video with me, Holly Shand. We've got one free transfer and a big decision to make on chip strategy. Get this one to 500 likes. Let's get into it. Looking at points predictions then for the next 5 game weeks, that takes us from game week 28 through to 32. Obviously, we've got Luton that have got a maximum 6 fixtures in that time. Lots of sides only have 4 fixtures though. So it's no surprise to see Kaminsky top the goalkeeper rankings, 20.6 predicted points. Bournemouth Neto not far behind him with the double this week. He could be a great pick. Obviously, you're not getting that utility in 29 now. Martinez is also in the frame on 19.4 predicted points, does have a fixture in 29. There's no David Raya in this top 10 because he can't play against his parent club Brentford this weekend and then blanks in 29. So it'll be interesting to see what impact that has on the Arsenal defence. And if you are looking for a budget option, obviously Areola's got the utility in 29. A big score last time out with that penalty save. Dubravka, though, does sneak into the top 10 despite not having a fixture in 29. 15.3 predicted points for his next 4 Premier League games. That's not bad. Looking at defenders then, and if you're not using the free hit in 29, then Luton's Alfie Doughty looks like a great buy for the next 5 game weeks. He's got 9 goal involvements this season. He's playing out of position as wing-back, really heavily involved in the Hatters' set pieces as well. Spurs assets have got a great run of fixtures, and as you can see, we've got 3 Spurs defenders in the top 10. Udogie in 3rd, and Romero and Porro just making it in 9th and 10th. They're not bad buys either. Obviously, we need a fitness update on Porro before the game week 28 deadline. Surprisingly, still, we've got Chilwell in 4th. I'm not sure what the AI sees in him, but, you know, he could be one to monitor. Not really seen much of him so far, but maybe that's to come. Gabriel still justifiably in this top 10. I think Arsenal assets will be very high on the agenda once we've got this blank game week 29 out of the way. Looking at midfielders then, and Son, 4th most bought player going into game week 28, is also predicted to be the top fantasy scorer over the next 5 game weeks. That's ahead of Erling Haaland. That's quite significant. Obviously, he's got the additional fixture in there, but again, masses of potential as well. So he's a really great buy for this coming period. Some lovely fixtures for Spurs outside of the double game week itself. Salah in the frame as well, who could be back fit for game week 28 against Liverpool. He's another player that we potentially need to find a way to get back in our sides. Maybe not this week, but come game week 30, expect to see him even higher in this list. And we see Saka slumped down to 7th because he's only got the 4 fixtures. De Bruyne right behind him in 8th. I think Saka is going to be an important player to hold through this little period of fixtures. And if you're looking for a doubler, Ross Barkley just scrapes in 10th place on 21.7 predicted points over the next 5 game weeks. He'd got 4 attacking returns in 4, since blanked in 4, but the fixtures are there for Luton in a double and beyond. Finally, when it comes to forwards, we see Haaland top of the charts, 31.4 predicted points, 4 games in the next 5 for him. Watkins and Toney, 5 games in the next 5 for them, are behind Haaland still. Watkins ahead of Toney, which could be quite telling in terms of who do you prioritise in your forward line. Each of these are both ahead of Solanke, which makes it a little bit challenging to, in some cases, justify transferring Solanke in for the double game week this week. But obviously you've got that utility as, you know, a really highly captainable asset, which is something that we need to consider as well. And Nicholas Jackson comes in 5th place. He had a mixed performance last time out where he missed a sitter and then did manage to get himself on the score sheet against Brentford. Newcastle at home this week, followed by a blank, but the fixtures after the international break for Chelsea are really nice. So could he become a potential option in our fantasy squads once again? It's something that we need to monitor. It was a red arrow for the AI team in game week 27, down from 130k to 160k. 71 points for the side. We used 2 transfers to bring in Neto and Son. De Bruyne and Turner were the ones to make way, and certainly the move for Son absolutely paid off. Should have played Neto over Dubravka, outscored him by a point. Gabriel was the only return from our defenders, but the midfield all performed, all got in attacking returns. Significantly, that 15-pointer from Foden. Captain Haaland delivered as well, but the blank from Tony hurt us, plus the lack of Watkins in this side, and that's a trend that's going to continue at the very least into game week 28. Transfer plans then for game week 28. We've got one free, 0.8 million in the bank, and a need to decide on whether to free hit in 29 or dead end into 29 and wildcard shortly after that point. Now, as things stand, there are only 5 players in the squad with a fixture in 29, just 2 transfers. So to get to 7 players without hits, it doesn't quite feel like enough for this squad. So I think the decision has to be to free hit in 29. Without a free hit, the recommended transfer is to take Trippier out for Alfie Doughty, which doesn't help the strength of the team for the double game week particularly. If we put in the chip strategy on the My Team tool on Fantasy Football Hub to free hit in 29, we then get the recommended transfer of Ivan Toney out for Dominic Solanke, who is the key target for double game week 28. Of course, you can get your AI recommended transfers using the link in the description to this video. Now, that feels like the safer route. We're not at the point where the AI can recommend the chip strategy for managers, but that feels like the right thing to do in order to, try and attack in some sense this double game week 28 and also be in a strong position for the blank game week 29, where we've just got 4 fixtures and 8 teams in the schedule to help us with fantasy returns. Team selection time then, and not too many big decisions to make with the 11. Of course, Neto has to start between the sticks with the double game week fixtures at home to Sheffield United and Luton, with Dubravka on the bench away at Chelsea. In the defence, we've got Gabriel home to Brentford. How will Arsenal perform without David Raya? Because they've been on a fantastic run with 3 clean sheets in 4. But Gabriel, that goal threat, he should do well anyway. We've got Alex Moreno at home to Spurs, and Charlie Taylor comes in to West Ham away, with Trippier dropping to the bench. He is a big injury risk and concern for game week 28. Baldock as well on the bench if we need him away at Bournemouth. Then in the midfield is Gordon, Bowen, Saka, Foden and Son, with Haaland and of course Solanke coming in with the injured Archer on the bench. When it comes to captaincy, the AI is going with the double game week assets. Solanke on 10.8 predicted points. Haaland 7.3 predicted points. Not even good enough for the vice captaincy, which goes to the goalkeeper Neto on 8.2 predicted points. As always, I will be making the final transfers for the AI team around 4 o'clock on Friday once we've had the managers' press conferences. I'll update the article on the website for Fantasy Football Hub members using the link in the description to this video to access that one. Any dilemmas, get in the comments. I'll try and answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.